what about Russia? That personal friendship with Vladimir Putin didn't quite work out, did it?
It didn't.
He thought he was his friend.
He thought, he started by saying he'd fix the Ukraine-Russia war in 24 hours. Then he stretched it to 100 days. Then it became 200 days. And now I think finally the penny's dropped that Putin doesn't really want to end this war because he doesn't have enough to show for the million or so deaths and casualties that Russia has suffered in the last 3.5 years. That this is an existential sort of game for Putin, and he's not going to accept a frozen conflict, with Trump then saying, now finally I should get the Nobel Peace Prize because I've solved this biggest of all wars. I don't think he read Putin correctly. And the penny has dropped because, he was going to have a second summit. He had one, of course, in the summer in Alaska. And he was going to have another in Budapest in Hungary. And he realized that Putin wasn't really in the mood for a bargain that would end this war. And so he canceled the summit. So that was the first real sign that, Trump's patience with Putin, or you might put it another way, cupidity about Putin, might be running out. But as I say, Trump's a capricious, unpredictable individual. So, what I'm saying now could be upended, before lunch.
Let's get back a little to our favorite Brzezinski. How would he have seen Trump treating China and Russia the way he does, and them actually coming closer together? Whereas I think his idea was to keep them divided.
Yes, I mean, I think, the sort of first rule of geopolitics, going back to, the ancient Chinese thinkers and people like Cortilla, I guess, the sort of idea of how you engage with other states is that you don't push all your enemies together, and you don't push your friends in with your enemies either. So, quite apart from Brzezinski, I would imagine being very concerned about this no limits partnership between China and Russia, he would also be pointing out that a lot of China's neighbors that are former allies of the United States are now pushing closer to China, at least on the commercial and trade and technology front, which is not a minor thing. It's kind of what makes the world tick. And so if you're pushing your friends and your enemies, together into an anti-American camp, well, then you're not doing geopolitics right. You're reducing America's leverage. You're certainly shattering its soft power.